Hi, this is Kim, Wild Women Studios. Happy July 24th. New moon in Leo today, so that's kind of why I'm coming on. I am in my office. I have taken down my alien altar and put up my Lionsgate altar in honor of, Lionsgate, lion season. I'm Leo. My ego's that big. No, okay, really it's not. Okay, yes it is. Anyhow, so I'm coming on today because I thought I'd do Tarot Thursday. So I'm using Summer's Magpie deck that I created for her. It's women, heavy, trans, heavy, that kind of thing. There's no male representation in this deck, so but you can use the traditional meanings for the most part if you want to play along. I've put 3 piles down and I've taken a still shot of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each pile individually and I'm going to put the still up there, and so whichever pile you picked is kind of your reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's get going. Okay, so the first pile that had this rock, I'm going to lay the cards down. Okay, so quite interesting. This is a specialty card, and this happens to be the coming out card. So if you're in this group of people, I'm going to assume that you are undergoing a very major transformation right now, or are coming out either as your true self, you're showing people who you truly are, or you may be coming out sexually, or there might be other ways coming out. But this is a trans-specific deck that I built for Summer, and this was one of those specialty cards that I traded for on the alley to be included in this deck. So the coming out is just the first step with this. That's just kind of when you have made peace with yourself to the point where you're going to draw and explain it to other people. And so you share that. And mixed bag receptions, been through it with my family. So I don't know what specifically part of this you're in right now, but it can be a very difficult, challenging, and trying time. So I hope you have support. I hope you are honoring yourself and your feelings above all else. And this is a process, and it's just and if you are truly trans, that process can take a long time, depending on how you feel like you need to finish things out. And that's a personal decision that nobody can make but you. So this is interesting. So it looks like we have some people that are coming out, and this energy is either in your field right now, or is slightly past, or might be slightly in the future. I'm not predicting futures. I'm just telling you kind of what the soup that you're in right now. Okay, next card up was the Queen of Pentacles, which is a really good card. The Queen of Pentacles is the queen of the suit of Pentacles, which is your money and your abundance and your wealth and a lot of the physical manifestations down here in what you call your now and your current reality. And she is looking pretty good, and this card came in upright, and this one actually has the meanings on it. So it's generous, caring, nurturing, a homebody, good business sense, practical, conforming, welcoming, sensible, and luxurious. So when the suit cards come up like this, they can be several things. They can be somebody that you know in your life. So look for a person who would be very grounding, very nurturing. The Queen of Pentacles is like the mother of the suits. She's very warm, compassionate, very grounded, very earthy, and very abundant. So that's something to consider. It could be urging you to be like her, if it's not somebody that you know in your sphere. And it also could be applied to a situation where you need to be more nurturing, or that kind of thing, where you need to embody more of that. or she could be you. That was the third thing I was going to say. Usually the pentacle suits the are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you're looking for a person in your life, it's very likely one of those people. All right. I'm getting through kind of like guidance to tell you to look for this person in your life, to find this person, that you're going through a difficult time and that you're going to need this kind of assistance, and to look for people that will be this for you, even if it's not your biological parents. Typically the queen suit is, but anybody who holds that nurturing, loving, mothering energy fits the bill here. And the reason you're going to need it is because alchemy is a big thing, and you're going to need a little help probably. And this one actually came from a book. If I had prepared better, I would have pulled the book so you could see the definition. But I will, for brevity, I will not continue to look at this. I will include I'll just do a still of what the book says about it. But alchemy is a thing. It's a process, and it takes time. The coming out is just the first step of it. So get yourself some help and support in the form of a mother type figure, or somebody who's willing to kind of guide you and help you along your way. Hopefully, if you are in the Big Sisters group, there's somebody like that for you, or more hopefully you have somebody like that in your in real life for you. But if not, reach out to us. We're there. Okay, on to the next group. Let's see what you got there. Okay, so this one is an interesting card. It came in upside down. So this is the Hermit and also the World. So it's two major arcana cards that have been kind of combined into one. So the World is the culmination. It's the end of the hero's journey, where the hero or the fool has found everything they need. They've worked through all the archetypes, and the World is the aha moment at the end of the major arcana. It's like you get everything. It's all the goods. It's all the good stuff. It's all the elements, and everything in your world is beautiful and in harmony. Well, she's stuck in the Hermit card here. And if you see that, because this is the World figure, this is the figure that's in the World card, but she's taken up the position of the Hermit. So in order to realize the aha at the end, you're going to have to do a little introspection. And instead of following the crowd, the Hermit urges you to follow your own light. Your own light, which is inside. It's not actually in front of you. It's inside. It's your own spark and your own light. And it's probably upside down because the world is what you want, is the end goal, and there's some introspection that's going to be involved with that. And it's kind of a lonely path when you take that deep dive to go inside and figure out what makes you tick. So you can have the world at the end, but you're going to have to do a little soul searching. That's why this card came in upside down. All right. Next came in is the Knight of Wands, and this is shown with a female figure. In the classic Rider-Waite, it is a male figure on a steed with a big wand, and the steed is on its hind legs, and it is all that kind of bravado energy. I honestly call it big dick energy. It is the big dick card, and it shows up when there's a lot of passion involved. It shows up lots of times in romance situations. If that's the case, the Knight of Wands is good for a good time, not a long time. He's very fickle, or she's very fickle, and you've got to tend that energy. Once again, with the court cards, this can be a person, it can be you or someone you know, or it can be urging you to take on the archetype itself. So passionate, fiery energy. But with the wand suit, you got to be careful because, like I said, they're good for a good time, but not a long time. So they're passionate and fiery and exuberant, but they have a tendency to fizzle out fast. So that energy is not sustained. It's kind of difficult to have a relationship with a fire sign for that very reason. You've got to be very careful with the tending of a fire sign. Too much and they will inferno on you, and not enough attention and they will fizzle out and just be gone. And so you've got to tend fire signs kind of carefully. So this says courageous, energetic, charming, hero, rebellious, hot-tempered, free-spirited. That's what the Knight of Wands is. So you might need just a little bit of this fire energy to get you through once you've kind of discovered what the meat of what you're working through is. That's where the introspection comes in. And the next one is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of the Ace of Wands is still that fiery passion, but it's coming in upside down. So this is new opportunities that are coming in for you. And I think with this and this, there's a lot of energy that you're cooking right now, but you're not really sure exactly what you want or where you're headed, and so you don't have a direction for it, and there's nowhere for it to really go. So you need to have that introspection with yourself and not listen to the people around you. This is you, a private talk with yourself to find out what you really want and figure that out. And then you're going to have the energy coming in to back that up. These two cards will flip right side up, and you'll have momentum and lots of new opportunities that you're going to be enthusiastic and passionate about. But you got to figure out where you're headed first. All right, that was group 2. And on to the last group. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so this is a good one. This is another one of those cards that is 2 major arcanas in one. And so this one is the Chariot and Temperance. So this card is screaming for some balance, like really screaming. The Chariot is like 2 horses that are not hooked to anything, and you are having to use all your mental acuity to keep those 2 horses in line and on track and where you want to go. So it's a lot of mental juggling trying to do that, because they aren't reined and they tend to want to go like this, and so you're using all your mental faculties to kind of keep things together. And you can do it, but it's hard, and it indicates that you are not quite in balance. The other card that indicates that you're not quite in balance is the Temperance card. The Temperance is, she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land, and she's pouring from the 2, and she is very in balance and in harmony and that kind of thing. And this one came in upside down, so I think probably some of y'all are having trouble balancing yourself. And it could be work, social life, or anything that is at odds. If you have a spiritual life and then you're trying to socialize too, that's difficult. Or if you're working yourself to death and not having time for anything fun, that's not balance either. Or if you're stressing so hard over one thing that you are totally neglecting everything else, there's a lack of balance there as well. So this card is asking you to bring balance back into your life. The next card up for you is the 3 of Wands, and it also came in upside down. And the 3 of Wands is a card about some decisions and getting some energy going. It is not exactly what it looks like here. So the 2 of Wands is all about making a decision. It's about staying or going. And so from a place that you're coming from a place that's really good, but you're ready to expand and explore and move and grow, like the growth on the Wands show. So you're ready to grow, but you're not exactly sure which direction to go in. So this card is all about kind of like waiting for the ship to come in. So you're at the harbor and there's ships coming in, and you're not exactly sure which one to get on. Usually, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And you also usually don't want to take the first opportunity that comes your way. So you need to get real clear about what you want. you need to have some discernment, and then you need to just kind of have some patience as well, because it's coming up, but you're probably going to need to seek a little bit of balance before this card turns upright and the opportunities are actually there presenting themselves. It feels almost like you're not quite sure what you want to do. So you need to line up that, make your decisions, find your balance and your center, and then opportunities are going to come around, because they're all floating out in the ether. They're just waiting on you to get your herd your cats. And then the last one, I don't have, it's not a traditional Rider-Waite card, so I don't have a definition for it. But it's clearly a picture of Wonder Woman, and the only tagline on there is truth. So I'm going to say that this one is pretty self-explanatory, that you have all the power and all the strength and everything you need, and that it is time for you to speak your truth. All right, going to end it there. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it.